play this year, this team?
Absolutely, yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a very good quality team, and when we're on our game, we're very hard to beat. So we just got to go back to the little things that we was doing, a few weeks ago that was working for us, and just knuckle back and just go back to the basics a bit. So I've got no doubt we've got a side here that can really make a run the next few weeks, and it's just about getting back on track, and that starts with this week against Gold Coast.
What is it? What do you put it down to? The form a couple of weeks ago was fantastic, and then all of a sudden you just didn't.
Yeah, yes and no. I think sometimes with a young team, the challenge of backing up, week in week out can be tough. Especially in an environment like the NRL. But I think we're starting to get some players back, which are plugging some holes there, and we've got some real young guys that are a bit of a spring in their step, and hopefully we bring that up to the Gold Coast this week and put in a performance that can get our season back on track.
Tim, you mentioned it's a young team and that can be part of the problem, but also losing confidence would be a real issue for a young team, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think young team is a problem. I think a lot of the success we've had this year is because of the young team we have and the enthusiasm that they bring. I think when you're losing games, sometimes you the natural reaction is to kind of figure out where it's coming from and how you can fix it. But I think we've got some really good people in our coaching staff that are keeping a level head and helping the young guys understand that we're really still in this, and there's still 7 games before the semis, so we want to make a real crack of it.
How have you seen Brad Arthur through this period? Is he, obviously he got off to a great start in his first year as a head coach. How's he handling this little period?
He's been great. He's very passionate about obviously winning, and I think that's a huge reason why we've had such a good season, is because he doesn't want to come in here and just have a crack and have to say, oh, we had a good year, and he's very, very passionate about making sure we don't let the good start to the year just waste away. So we're doing everything we can. That started today. We had a real good session today, and we're just doing everything we can to make sure we don't let the success we had at the start of the year go to waste.
Mate, you played with a real stiff upper lip in the early part of the year, and
sorry, what's that?
You played with a real stiff upper lip. You played very tough. How do you rediscover that in the last 7 weeks?
Oh, to be honest, I think we discovered a lot of that on Friday night. I thought, defensively, the forwards really aimed up against a very big South pack. The disappointing thing was, we probably let the game slip away towards the end, and the scoreline didn't reflect how much we were in the game. So, in terms of being physical and having that bit of sting back in our defence, I thought we regained a lot of that on Friday night. The challenge for us now is making sure we get the job done and not just come close enough and let the game slip away.
What did you make of the article yesterday that Paris after daily surveillance?
Oh, I didn't hear any of the article, but I think, yeah, mate. To be honest,
4 years. It's reported that Paris came to get him there to be the number 7.
Mate, I've been around Para and rugby league long enough to know that any player that can be linked to the club will be linked to the club. And it's just how rugby league is. But I think there'll be a lot of teams in the comp, wanting him, and I think we're no different. He's obviously a quality player, and there'll be a lot of teams wanting him.
Would that affect Chrissy Sandberg reading something like that?
Oh, like I said, as a group of players, we've kind of heard and read it all in the past. Players coming and going, and for us, we just got to make sure we don't get distracted and too sidetracked with what's going on out of our control. We're players, and our job is to play footy, and that's what we'll be doing.
Tight as this week, Tim. How much would a loss hurt your chances for the rest of the year?
We're not getting caught up too much in the rest of the year, but I think it's a very big game for us this week. It's really important. Like I said, we've had a few losses on a trot now, so for us it's about getting back on track, and that starts this week, and it'll be a really important game for us to get up there and get the result.
Did you come out with an injury on the weekend?
Mate, I've been injured for the last 2-3 weeks. Yeah, I hurt myself against Newcastle a few weeks ago. I'll see a specialist tomorrow again to see how we're travelling.
Chance to play on the weekend?
Hope so. I got my hopes up last week and got knocked back, so just got to go in there and see how we go.